Hello, hello, hello. Is this working? This is very, very strange. I have to say. I have to be careful not to pick my nose or do anything else embarrassing. But yeah, how is everyone? Need to double check sound levels and stuff because this is all quite new. Find somewhere to put my mic as well. Right. Okay, that looks like it's working. Let me know if there's anything that seems off. I'm hoping this is coming through. Okay. Like I said, the whole streaming thing is a bit new. I think, like, I've probably streamed, like, twice on Twitch, and that was years ago, and there was, like, no viewers, I think. So, like, the YouTube streaming is definitely very strange. It's quite different to Twitch. So it's just kind of getting used to settings and things. But yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is probably start off with like streaming something like Valheim or maybe World of Warcraft, just to kind of have something to do, because I'm honestly not expecting a lot of viewers for this stream, just because obviously I'm imagining most of you are here for my reactions rather than kind of live streaming. So yeah, but I figured, you know, if any of you've got any questions related to reactions, TV shows I've watched, am watching, um, might be watching in the future, then obviously drop them in the chat. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I was going to say. But yes, obviously just be a bit mindful of kind of spoilers for anything I'm watching at the moment. I have finished Arcane. Obviously the show hasn't finished on the channel. Those are still coming out, but I have actually finished watching it. But just I suppose, be a bit mindful of other people in the chat that might not have watched it. Because obviously that'd be a bit shit if they were kind of in the middle of watching it and got spoiled. So yeah. Right, let me see if I can get this game sorted out a second. That will be on this screen. So this all takes a bit of getting used to, like, because it's one thing to record stuff, and then it's like something else entirely to have to talk about something when, like, there's nothing really going on. Which is why I figured it'd probably be easier to, like, play a game or something. So okay. So I'll switch the screen over in a second. I hope you can hear me and I'm just not talking to myself. Like, thank you very much. Yeah, the 1,000 subs, like, was surprising, honestly, because when I uploaded my first ever video, which was back in August, I did not expect to get any views really at all, which is kind of partly what gave me the courage to upload that first video, because I thought, well, nobody's going to watch it. So and then, like, the next morning I woke up and I had a sub, and, like, I can't remember how many views that first video got, like, on that first day, but I was just like, oh no, people are watching it. That was terrifying. But Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's the emotion thing is weird with me. Well, it's not weird, I suppose. It's one of those things. I think. I mean, obviously, it's the story that gets to me. Like in a lot of the shows I watch, and I think I'm sort of quite an empathetic person, sort of generally anyway. But music gets to me as well. Like if there's like a really nice piece of music, I can literally hear it and I'll be in tears. Um, so it's definitely music as well as kind of what's going on the screen. But yeah, it's interesting. It's not ideal in some situations. Like if you're I don't know Christmas gatherings watching a movie or something and you're sat there in tears, it's not ideal. But I guess it's kind of okay for reactions and stuff. Well, thank you. Yeah, Firefly's brilliant. I'm really enjoying it. I'm actually enjoying Firefly a lot more than I expected to because I figured it would be. Obviously, it's old. Well, yes, it is old. It's like 20 years old, isn't it? And I expected it to have aged a lot more than it has. And I think I don't know. It just hasn't. It's. I mean, there's certain aspects of it, I suppose, which maybe look a bit dated, but like overall, like the just it's so good. I'm really enjoying it, and I haven't finished watching it yet, so please no spoilers because I'm kind of not trying. I can't speak. I'm trying not to rush through it because I don't want to finish it. But at the same time, I obviously need to get the reactions out. So I'm kind of going steadily. I'm doing like 1 or 2 episodes a week, depending on how busy I am. Um, Obviously the reactions are coming out once a week, so I'm a little bit ahead of those. But yeah, it's I've got I think at this point. Yesterday I recorded episodes 11 and 12, so I'm a little bit ahead of what's on the channel. But yeah, I'm just trying to drag it out now. I do, yes. That's what's taking a lot of time for me at the moment because I work full time as well. So I've literally got evenings and weekends to do that and record and get it all edited and get it out. And at the moment, there's not going to be an upload tomorrow, which is generally like my movie night, which is a Sunday, obviously, because that's what tomorrow is. Um, but yeah, it's quite tough getting 3 videos up a week. And I'm thinking I might have to cut one of them back. It will probably be the movie night, and it will probably be dropping to like once a fortnight or something on a Sunday. The other two slots I definitely want to keep because they are obviously the TV shows, which is kind of my main thing. Um, oh, thank you. Oh, excellent. Yes, MCU. No, no experience behind the camera or in front of the camera even. Well, I say that I've dabbled a little bit with kind of making videos in the past. Nothing massive, like mainly just kind of video guide things for like old MMOs and stuff. Again, like literally just as a spare time sort of hobby thing. Um, but definitely not voiceovery, like nothing with my face on it or nothing with my voice. It was all kind of text and obviously sort of recorded video from a game. Thank you. Yeah, this is actually my first stream, so it's all a bit weird. I'm just kind of looking in all these different directions trying to figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. So, yeah. But no, I'm really, really enjoying the MCU as well. Well, I say I'm enjoying. I've obviously recorded Iron Man, which is up on the channel at the moment, Incredible Hulk will be up next Sunday, if I can get it edited. And, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by all these questions. I can't multitask, apparently. But yeah, I really do appreciate all the support. It's actually blown me away. Because, like, to go back to the editing thing, it's... I mean, obviously, well, I say obviously, it's not obvious if you don't do it, perhaps, but it is definitely the thing that takes up all the time, because, like, the recording takes up, obviously, as long as the show, plus you've got to record, like, the intro and the outro and kind of gather your thoughts and all that sort of stuff. And the editing, now that I've kind of got into a bit, because I've been doing it for about 6 months now, it's generally taking me around 3 to 4 hours per video-ish. That's on the shorter shows. Obviously, Firefly and Arcane are both really short shows. They're like 40 minutes each. So that's been quite good, because obviously the shorter the show, the quicker it is to edit. But stuff like Stranger Things and Good Omens and stuff like that was quite... It's not much longer, but you'd be surprised how much 20 minutes can add to the editing process. So, yeah. So I got lots of questions coming in here. This is quite amazing. I didn't actually think anybody would watch this stream either. So this is quite good. Well, did I say quite good? It's very good, actually. Let me have a look. But yes, no, definitely. I would definitely look to getting an editor if I make enough money from it. At the moment, I'm definitely not in that position, because I would like to move into my own place. At the moment, I'm living at my parents'. I have moved out in the past, obviously, but like, basically, I moved back in with them when a relationship broke up just before the pandemic hit, and then the pandemic hit, and I've kind of not gotten around to moving out again yet. So that's kind of what I want to do first, and then kind of once that's out the way, and sort of depending on how the channel grows, then I might be looking at getting an editor. But that's going to be a long way down the line, I think, because that's going to need quite a bit of... Because, you know, rightfully so, it takes a lot, you know, it's a lot of hours to edit one video. So to make it worthwhile for somebody to edit it, it would need to be well paid. And that's going to be a lot. So I don't know if I'd ever get that big, honestly, but if I do, then yes, that would be the way I'd want to go. Okay. Any other big name series in the near future? A wish list. I do have a list, actually. So at the moment, I've kind of got a loose schedule going on at the moment. So after Arcane finishes, which is my Friday release, I'm gonna be starting to... I can't speak words. What are they? I'm gonna start reacting to The Boys, because I've not seen that at all. I actually recorded the first episode of that last night, so yeah, watch out for that. That's coming out at the beginning of March, I believe. So yeah, The Boys is obviously going to take a few months, because there's like 3 series of that, I believe, 3 seasons. And after Firefly, I've got Sense8 lined up. So that's kind of sticking with the sci-fi theme. Again, I don't know much about Sense8. I also know that was cancelled. So I'm kind of sticking with the cancelled theme at this point. But yeah, after that, I don't know. Like I said, I've got a list of stuff I'd quite like to watch. Like, I would love to do Vikings at some point, although I realise that's really long. And that would be quite a commitment. Because even though I love the idea of doing like longer running shows and like really getting into something, because I'm only doing one episode a week of each show, I will be doing it for years, which isn't ideal. Because I think, I don't know, I think with the stage I'm at the moment, and I learned this the hard way in some ways, because when I first, like the first show I reacted to was The Sandman, which was brilliant. And that brought a lot of viewers in, which I wasn't expecting. It's funny actually, because I decided to react to The Sandman first because I thought it's not really that popular. There's going to be nobody that really watches it, so that's a kind of a safe bet rather than something that I knew was really popular. So I reacted to that and then got loads of viewers in because apparently that show was really popular, so that kind of was surprising. But then I kind of made a bit of a mistake by hitting Rings of Power next, which is a show that I'd wanted to watch for a long time and hadn't, so I thought, well, I'll react to it. But obviously a lot of people don't like that show, which I knew it had gotten a bit of bad press at the time, but hadn't realised quite how much. And so that didn't get very good views, which is fine, because, you know, obviously not everything is. But it kind of hurt the channel. Well, it didn't hurt the channel, but I think it stopped a bit of growth at the beginning, whereas if I jumped into something else, then that might have kind of got me to 1,000 subscribers quicker. And I know it's not all about subscribers and views and stuff, but it's quite a difficult line because, and it's like with Stranger Things as well, I started reacting to that and that wasn't getting very many views either, and I'm not quite sure why, because Stranger Things is huge and I don't think it's me, honestly. Just because all my other reactions are fine. So maybe it's just a timing thing, or like the channel's not big enough, or it's just like the completely wrong audience or something. So, but I'd like a, you know, if you've seen the stuff on the channel, you know I reacted to 2 seasons of that before I packed it in. And I am, speaking of Stranger Things, I am planning on getting the rest of the episodes of season 4 up on Patreon, which would be free to everybody to watch. Just to kind of get it out of the way. But I don't like not finishing things because I don't think that's fair on people. I don't want people to get invested in a show I'm reacting to, or in my reactions to a show, and then I stop. So yeah, that's kind of my thinking on that. I'm sure I was answering a question and have got completely sidetracked. Well, let me have a quick look through these. Am I interested in reacting to anime? That's a difficult one. I'm not against reacting to anime. I haven't watched really any, honestly, so that's definitely a lot of potential there. However, I know that it can be quite difficult for reactions. Not difficult as in the reacting part, but just for copyright and stuff, because I know of a few people who have literally had copyright strikes on their channels, and their channels have just been taken down like overnight because of that, and that makes me really nervous. And I think it's one particular studio that does that, or is quite famous for doing that, so maybe there's safer stuff out there, I don't know. Definitely not off the cards, but it's not something that I'm kind of actively planning on doing. My favourite Firefly character, oh god. I would say, like I said, I recorded episodes 11 and 12 last night, and I think, oh god, that's such a difficult question. I like all of them. I can't just say I like all of them, can I? No. It's very difficult. It's I think it's not Simon. Simon's not my favourite because there's too many there's characters that are definitely more interesting than Simon. But I definitely have a soft spot for Simon because I feel like he's us from the first episode, like just because we kind of get introduced to the Serenity and the crew with him. So I don't know, I just kind of I like the him and River thing. I like their relationship. Um I love Mal obviously because he's brilliant. And honestly, this is going to be a really strange thing to say, but I think probably as a just completely bizarre answer to that question, I think I might go out of my way and say Jane, which is hilarious considering how I felt about him at the beginning. Not because I don't know, it's difficult because he doesn't actually have a lot of screen time out of all the characters. Well, no, then there's Zoe though. No, I don't think I can put Jane above Zoe. God, I don't know. I don't think I can answer that question honestly. No. Let's say Jane or Zoe. Or Mal. But then I like Kaylee as well. Yeah, no, I don't know. I cannot answer that question. I think Jane is probably the one that intrigues me the most. Well, him and River. River, obviously, because we don't know what's happened to her. And Jane, because he feels like there's a lot more to him than you first think. Babylon 5 and or Battlestar Galactica. I think a couple of people have mentioned those. I haven't watched either of them, so that's definitely a possibility. So I can add those to my list. I've got a little list of shows that people suggest. Do you want this channel to be trending movies and series like a lot of reaction channels, or would you consider watching less popular, less watched stuff, or a mix of both? I think... I think really it's probably not going to be watching the trending stuff just because of time. I think if I was full-time doing this and I was in a better position to do that, then I probably would. But just because of like my time, I think it's probably I think it would be like hard for me to try and keep up with other channels that are like pumping out the stuff as it's coming out type of thing. The only exception for that would be stuff that I'm really into. So when House of the Dragon season 2 drops, I will be reacting to that as soon as it comes out. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, we don't know when that's coming yet, so I may have to delay it if I'm in the middle of reacting to something else. But if I do, I may if I'm in the middle of something which is multiple series, then I might just like slot it in between the seasons of an existing show that I'm reacting to, if that makes sense. But yeah, generally it's gonna be older stuff, I would imagine. Like, I don't want to... Obviously, I want to try and react to stuff that people want to watch because while it's not all about views and stuff, it kind of is, really. Like, if you know, it's all very well sort of saying, oh, you should react to what you want to react to and not worry about views and stuff. But I think you kind of have to if you want your channel to be successful. So But yeah, like new movies and stuff, probably not. I have to say, I'm definitely more of a TV show person than I'm a movie person, which is why I haven't watched a lot of movies. It's not that I don't like movies, I don't know. I feel like you can't get as invested in them as you can with a TV show, which you spend like hours and hours and hours with characters. And I know you can, because there are some really good movies out there which I've seen. But in my head, I just feel like if I'm going to invest my time, I would rather do it with a TV show. So, yes, the algorithm is very weird. Yeah, I say I've been lucky. Touch wood. The copyright issues thing is a concern, but so far I've been okay. It's mainly you just want to obviously keep. I don't know sort of how many of you. I don't know if how sort of common the knowledge this is, or if I just know it because I've kind of gotten into sort of making my own reactions. But the you kind of want to try and keep footage below 10 minutes per video for it to be fair use. And I know kind of fair use is a very loose term, and if a company really wants to go after you, then that wouldn't stand up in court, I don't think. But it's such a difficult one because I kind of feel like reaction channels, they're reacting to TV shows and movies and stuff, are like, I don't know, they're doing as it's I don't know. I know what I mean. It's there's no getting around the fact that you are actually using content from a TV show or a movie to react to it. But I feel like it's a thing that people want because otherwise people wouldn't watch reaction videos. And I don't know. I mean, I suppose the only way around it is to do like the full length ones, like I do, like a lot of channels do, like and put them on Patreon or whatever. But again, that means you need to have your own copy of the show or the movie or whatever, which isn't always viable because you can't just be like sub to all these different like streaming services and stuff. So that's not a solution either, really. Death Note. That's anime, isn't it? So I get confused because there's like that One Piece live action TV show that came out recently, which was an anime, wasn't it? Or is an anime? I get very confused between them all. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading through chat here. So you mentioned the difficulty of reactions of longer running series, and many reactors who film 2 episodes, as an example, Breaking Bad, and edit them into one 45-minute video. I have thought of doing that. And the only reason I haven't, I was thinking about that yesterday actually when I was recording the 2 Firefly videos, but the only reason I haven't done that yet is because I don't like it. Oh, well, I say that. I don't mind it now that I've kind of watched a few reactors that do that, but when I first started watching reactions, I wouldn't watch reactors that did that because it just felt weird. I don't know why. I felt like I was getting cheated out of some of the reactions because I thought they were like smaller or they were cutting them down more, and I realised afterwards that actually no, that's not the case. But yeah, it's I'm definitely not going to rule that out, but I think generally people tend to prefer one episode per video. But that would definitely solve the longer shows thing. Because there's one reactor that I watch, he's currently reacting to Game of Thrones, and I think he's actually changed it now. He reacts to 2 episodes per video, but he was doing like half a season per video, so it was like 5 episodes per video, and that was fine. But then he edits them down quite a bit as well, I think, so. Oh, that's interesting. The actors that played Simon and Kaylee appeared on a series called Eureka. I've heard of Eureka. And it's funny you mentioned that question mentioning Breaking Bad, because like, I'm so gutted that I've watched Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul and Game of Thrones, because those are shows that I would have absolutely loved to have reacted to. But then I suppose I only say that because I've watched the shows and I love them. So there's a bit of a paradox going on there. This is amazing. There's people actually chatting here. Asking questions. I honestly thought I was going to be sitting here talking to myself, playing Valheim or something. Have you watched Emmy Reacts? You and her are my favourite react channels. Oh, bless you. Thank you. I did actually... I've seen her videos because they keep getting suggested to me. I haven't actually watched any of her reactions yet, because she's watching Firefly at the moment, isn't she, I believe? Was it Firefly or Arcane? I'm not sure. But yeah, I know she exists. If it's the one I'm thinking of it. Because there's a couple which have got a very similar name and I don't know who that is. But if it's the one I'm thinking of... Oh, trailers for... cinematics, I mean, for... Okay, would be interesting seeing your reactions to some of the cinematics by Riot, the creator of Game League of Legends. Yeah, I've actually not watched any of those, although the other night after I finished Arcane, I did go straight to the League of Legends website and start looking at all the heroes, or the champions, or whatever they're called, because I was so curious to see which ones were actually from the game, because not all of them are they? The ones that are in Arcane. Like, obviously, Caitlyn and Jace and obviously Vi and Jinx. But Silco isn't, is he? I wasn't sure if he was, and I couldn't find him on the list, so unless he's called something else. Although, actually, never mind. Ignore that. I just remembered things that happened in the last episode, so I kind of answered my own question then. Yeah, Emmy is watching Firefly. Okay, that is the one I think it is then. have you seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer? I've seen the odd episode. It kind of was at its height. Well, obviously you all know when it was at its height, but yeah, it was one of those shows that would be on, but I never actually really sat down and watched it. It was kind of in the background when I was doing other stuff. So no, I've not. I know obviously what it's roughly about. I know that there's like the spin-off Angel, I think it's Angel, and I know, I obviously recognise all the actors from it, but I couldn't tell. I mean, yeah, I don't know any storylines or anything. Oh, interesting. There's one that introduces Jinx as a character that was made by the same studio that made Arcane, and a few years after that, they started making Arcane. Okay. Oh, hey, Miho. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. You'll have to yell at me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I've got Valheim on in the background here, and I haven't actually switched it over yet because all you people are asking me questions, which I was not expecting. So I might bring that over here. Actually, no, I won't because I can't see my screen properly. Hang on. Yeah, see that's definitely a factor, isn't it? Like, because I've considered watching stuff like Buffy, and apart from the fact that those kind of shows are generally really long, it's how much of an, I say how much of an audience. Those are obviously very popular shows, but like, I'm quite tempted to watch Doctor Who at some point as well, but that's obviously ridiculously long, like the reboot ones at least. And then there's things like Lost I haven't seen. So there's definitely like potential for some really big shows, but it's it's risky with longer shows, I think, unless you've got like a really established channel and audience. You just, if you're sort of on one thing for too long, if I feel like you're I can't think of the word I was going to say. Not alienating, that's not what I mean, but you're shutting out, that's not even the word either, but yeah, you're excluding a whole bunch of people that you would get if you were obviously reacting to shorter shows over the same amount of time. Following an Aussie reactor, Ellie Moses, who does really thorough reviews of film and series, waiting for his channel to gain. Ah, interesting. Squid Game is on my list. I can actually bring up my list and tell you what I'm actually planning on reacting to at some point. I will be putting this I can't speak, these shows up in polls and stuff, so I will be kind of gauging from that what I react to next. What I say next after Sense8 and after The Boys. Yeah, Avatar: The Last Airbender. A lot of people say it's very, very good. I have not watched. Yeah, let me. Okay. I'm trying to find me window here. God, that's bright. Hello. Where is that gone? Right, cool. Got it. Right, so yes, my list. Vikings is obviously top. That's 6 seasons, I think. Um, Last Kingdom is another one I haven't seen. Sons of Anarchy, Black Sails, The Expanse. The Boys, obviously, I'm doing next after Arcane. I've got Succession. I haven't seen a lot of reactions to that, so I'm not quite sure how reacty that one is. Westworld, I've got on my list, and Lost. And also, what else have I got? Wednesday, Black Mirror, Heartstopper, Sense8, obviously, which I am doing. Our Flag Means Death, Dark. I think that's it, actually. And then obviously there's all the MCU stuff, which obviously I can't watch yet because I want to watch the movies first. And I would like to get into all the Star Wars films at some point as well. Because even though I know the plots, I say I don't. I know the big plot points of Star Wars, but I don't think I've ever actually sat down and watched it properly. Like any of them. Heroes. Sorry, I just spotted somebody mention Heroes. I loved Heroes. Yeah, I don't see a lot of people reacting to Sons of Anarchy. I think Nikki and Steven have just finishing it now, but I have not seen it. But they're about to start reacting to Peaky Blinders, which is another show I've watched, sadly. Well, it's good for me because I can watch their reactions to it, but it's not good for me because it reminds me of another show I can't react to. Ted Lasso is another one that I would love to react to, but I've watched. And if any of you haven't watched Ted Lasso, then I suggest you go and watch it now because it is so good. really, really just heartwarming and lush. Fleabag. Sounds familiar. Why do I know that? Do I need to Google it? The 4400. No. Do I have to make a list? Another list. I'm definitely going to be doing Star Wars at some point. I think that's probably going to come after the MCU, which will be the rate I'm going, probably 2025. No, how many movies are there for MCU? There's quite a few, isn't there? I mean, I know, like, if you count all of them, there's like way more, but like the main ones, is it like 25? Would I ever react to horror movies? Yes. I don't know if you've seen. Not well, they are horrors. Well, no. Horror's weird with me. I used to love horror, and the older I've gotten, the more squeamish I am. I'm just like, oh. But I watched The Fall of the House of Usher, which is obviously the latest Mike Flanagan show. That's the reactions are on the channel. But I was hiding behind a pillow for most of those because I don't like jump scares. Twin Peaks. I'm sure I've seen some people reacting to that though. So, hi from Florida. Hello. I did actually live in the States for a while. I was in Texas. I've seen Midnight Mass. I've seen all of his except for oh god, what's it called? Midnight Club? Is it Midnight Club? Midnight Mass, Midnight Club. I have to double check that now. Yeah, Midnight Club is the one I haven't seen. Oh, Cobra Kai is on my list as well. I don't know why that wasn't on that list. Interesting, because I've seen all the Karate Kid movies, which I loved. Midnight Mass is extremely uncomfortable, yes. I think my favourite Mike Flanagan is has to be, well, I was gonna say it's The Haunting of Hill House, but Usher is very good. It's a very close second, I think. God, we got people from everywhere here. Japan, New York. Oh, you need to watch Hill House. It's so good. I'm quite glad I'm not reacting to that, honestly, because it would just be 8, 10, 9 episodes of me crying. Like, non-stop. Just around the corner. Yeah, it's going back to, I think it was mentioned earlier, like, about somebody not sort of really being into the MCU. That's kind of why, like, the plan was to do an MCU movie every other week and then have the off week being just a random movie of some description, or an emergency slot for any TV shows that came up, like House of the Dragon or something. But with my schedule, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. I think it's just going to have to be an MCU movie every other week, and then no upload on that off week, just because, at least until I kind of get myself sorted, because movies are an absolute nightmare to edit. I'm quite shocked because there's a lot of channels out there that just react to movies, and it's like, how? How are you not just editing like 24 hours a day? Anyway, I'm going to put this game on a minute, because if nothing else, it means I can check my audio levels for the next time I stream. Oh, you have just started watching Haunting of Hill House with Nikki and Steve and react on your recommendation. Loving it. Yes. Yeah, you're right, Mio. I think they probably do. Alright, let me try and switch this over to this game a second, and let me try not to break anything in the process. But yeah, tell me if the game volume's too loud, which hopefully it won't be. Actually, I might turn that down before I do that. Oh, we shall see. Oh, we have a black screen. That's not good. Oh, we're loading. It's fine. Here's the bit where the game crashes now. I started a new world just for shits and giggles. Braces for speaker explosion. Oh yes, my pets in Valheim. They're actually on a different world. We might have to go visit them shortly. So remind me of Annie Lennox from her solo career heyday back in the 90s. Wow, that's a compliment. Is the sound alright? I'm not deafening everyone. And can you still hear me? I'm hoping it's not horrendous. I'm not blowing everyone's eardrums out. You hear you not the game. Okay, cool. I've got it very low in fairness. It's basically just a survival game. But it's kind of I say it's very easy. It's very forgiving. Like the graphics of the character and stuff aren't amazing, but the rest of it is. But you don't, like with a lot of survival games, you can die quite easily of hunger and if you don't manage your resources and stuff, whereas this is just a lot more forgiving and you can build houses and stuff. An exploration is a huge thing. Hear you, not the game. Okay, let me try turning that up a little bit. Although I think I might have had it turned right down for... Oops, punch the crow. Hello. Yes. For watching Cobra Kai, look for the YouTube. The Karate Kid Daniel is the real bully. Interesting. Bless him. Off you go. Right. Let me, I don't know if I got them. Let me go running a minute. Yeah, this one's actually in early access, so... God, that sun's bright. But it's very good. Very relaxing. It's like... I used to play... This kind of has replaced Minecraft for me. It's that kind of, you can just turn it on and chill with it. I am still checking chat, by the way. I'm just... I do appreciate you are not here to watch me game. Unless you are, in which case I will maybe do it more often. Oh, it's a massive... Oh god. Boars. Need to get some more wood. Cabinet of Curiosities is a good series of short horror stories. Yeah, because I know... Well, I say I know, I don't know, but like, I've seen a few people reacting to American Horror Story, which I also haven't watched. Oh, hello, dear. But, I'm not sure how good they are. American Horror Story, that is. Just collecting some raspberries a second. This is a horrible world. It's got too many hills. Wood, please, thank you. Club. No, I need 6. Bollocks. Yeah. I would you go away? I'm going to punch you. Punch the tree. Thank you. I have to see a raid come into my base. No. You really don't want to see a raid come into my base. On the first world I built in Valheim, I had this amazing house. And these trolls came and just destroyed everything. And they killed my boars. Oh, snow. I am trying to find somewhere nice. Well, that's interesting about American Horror Story. Actually, you know what? Let me go to one of my other homes. Worlds. Let's go. I can't remember which one it is now. We'll go with there. I call my worlds really weird things. I think I deleted a bunch not so long ago. Oh god, I'm on the wrong character. Yeah, jump scares. I feel like Mike Flanagan, for example, does jump scares really well. Like they're meant. They're kind of meaningful. I think when they're just cheap, like a good example is a game I played recently, Alan Wake 2. And it's just got jump scare after jump scare to the point where I was just like, I'm gonna have to just turn the volume down if I'm playing this. Because it was just too much. Let me find me other character. I can't remember which character I was on for this world. Because it saves the state of the world. I think I was on Andelain actually. And I think... Yeah, see, the world I was in just now I called First Stream Terror. Because I was nervous. But this is the world with my boars, I think. Yeah. But no, jump scares just are not ideal. Alright, okay, we've got a few more clothes today. Okay, hello. So this is my house, welcome. Apparently I've let the fire go out. Little feast. It's been a while since I've been here. 1 or 2 chests. Oh, actually, okay, we are in the right place. Portal. Oh, hang on. Get rid of you. Close the door. Okay. Boar. Hello. Boar. Crowley! Crowley. God, I got to remember how to pronounce it correctly now. And Aziraphale. Bless them. Crowley. It's Crowley, isn't it? Crowley's the supernatural one. Bless them. My outfit does not match at all. Left shift E. Let's go. Mal. Kaylee. Simon, Aziraphale, Crowley, Kaylee, Mal, Boar. River. Who am I missing? Oh, Zoe. Oh, Zoe and Kaylee are hanging out. Ah, hello. Is his name Book or Shepherd? He is a shepherd, isn't he? So his name is Book. Bok. No, Book. Let's go with that. And I can change it if I need to. I feel like I am missing somebody. Jane, Mal, Honora, Simon. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, the bees are happy. Like happy bees. It's such a good game. I've got a ridiculous amount of hours in this. I think it's like 700 or something. I have played a lot of Valheim. Go to the fence. I don't have any food for them. Just in case they're hungry. Bark Shepherds in Battlestar Galactica. Oh, I can't speak. Battlestar Galactica as well. It's funny when you see people show up in places you don't expect them, isn't it? Like, who was it I saw recently? Like, oh god. I can't think of his name. The supernatural guy. Bobby. He's obviously the guy that sells guns in Is it Breaking Bad? I want to say Breaking Bad, or maybe it's Better Call Saul. It's one of those two. But it's just strange, like when you see people like Haster from Good Omens is also in Peaky Blinders. And did you guys know that, which probably doesn't interest you at all, but if any of you have played Elden Ring and know Rani the Witch, she is voiced by the girl in Peaky Blinders that plays the youngest brother's wife. I did not realise that until like a couple of weeks ago. I can't think of her name, but yeah, she plays the gypsy girl in Peaky Blinders, and I can't think of her character's name either. Yeah, I can't even think of the brother's name now either. God, not Tommy, not Arthur. Oh shit. Hey, Laser. Yeah, Peaky Blinders is so good. Oh, hey, Ray. I have not... I've seen Star Trek. Hang on. I've probably seen more than this, but the only Star Trek thing I know I've definitely seen is The Wrath of Khan. The film. John. Yes, it is John. I still can't think of his wife's name. Esme. Esme? I think it's Esme. It is Esme. Anyway, yes, she voices Rani the Witch in Elden Ring. I used to actually love that film so much. I've watched it several times. The ear thing just... I think it was the fascination with the ear thing. It just absolutely freaked me out. Like the ear slug thing. Ugh. I need to not talk about Elden Ring because it makes me want to play it again. What's something about being a reactor that surprised you? Maybe something is easier or more difficult than you expected, etc. I suppose, sort of broadly speaking, the thing that I didn't expect to be as difficult is the editing. Or at least not difficult. It's not difficult, but I didn't expect it to take as long as it does. that was quite a shock. I was just like, my God, how do these people find the time? But for the actual reactions themselves, like the recording, and I still do this now, sometimes because I'm not very vocal, like it's really difficult because I know what I like in a reaction. Like when I'm looking for reactors, I know what I like, and so I suppose that's kind of what I don't like it when people just constantly talk over shows. I mean, I know you're not there to actually watch the show because that's not the point of a reaction, but you kind of, there are generally, I'm guessing this is the same for everybody, it is with me, but like for me, when you're watching a reaction to a show, there's generally points of the show that you're really looking forward to seeing their reaction to. And if they talk all over it, it kind of ruins it. Well, not ruins it, but it's, I don't know. And so I try really hard not to talk over stuff. And I say I try really hard. It's not difficult not to talk over stuff because I'm watching it. But, and obviously sort of having read a lot of comments, I think a lot of people do appreciate the understated reactions more than I expected them to. But sometimes I do feel like I should vocalize more and talk more, and that's a habit that's really difficult to get into, and I'm still kind of working on it. Like, not to fake reactions, obviously, because that's not helping anybody, because, do you know what I mean? You're there to see my actual reaction to a show I've not watched, so what's the point of faking it? But, like, I would like to improve on, well, not improve, but like remember to actually say what I'm thinking, because sometimes I don't, and I sort of think, I get to the end and I sort of think, like you know, especially when I'm editing and I'm kind of watching back through, I'll sort of think, well, I thought I said that. I thought I said what I was thinking at that point, and I didn't. I was just thinking it, and I thought, oh, I'll remember that and talk about it like in the recap. And of course then you sort of forget, or maybe you do remember, I don't know. But I suppose it's just kind of getting into the habit of remembering to actually speak, if that makes sense. And that's something that's quite difficult. As somebody that's not, I'm not generally like a massively chatty person sort of in day-to-day life anyway. So, and it is quite a natural feeling just to sit here on your own and talk. I mean, a bit like now, really. Although I've got, obviously, a live chat, which actually is a lot more helpful than reacting to TV shows in some way, because I've got something to interact with. Whereas, obviously, when I'm just recording myself, I don't. And it's very easy to just get wrapped up in the show and stay silent, which I think I do quite a lot. And it's, like I said, even though I think some people do appreciate that, I would definitely like to find that middle ground between being a little bit more vocal and, but not talking over the show, but also not being as quiet as I am right now. If that answered your question. I don't have a thick enough skin to be a reactor. People can be absolute. Yes, they can. To be fair, I've actually been very lucky. And again, I probably shouldn't say this because no doubt I'll wake up tomorrow morning to some absolute really shitty comments, but I've had nothing that's personal yet. It's all been, oh, I hate that show, why are you reacting to this show? Or it's kind of been along those lines, and that's fine. But it's funny, like, if you'd said to me a year ago, you'll be recording yourself and putting them on YouTube, I'd be like, don't be a twat. There's no way I'll be doing that. But, and honestly, I think the thing that gave me the courage to do it, because I mentioned this in the, I've got like an intro to me video on the channel somewhere as well. It was like one of the first ones I posted, just to kind of give people a bit of background on why I was like making the reaction channel. And I mentioned this in there, but I spent the first half of last year just discovering reaction channels for the first time and binge watching a whole load of Game of Thrones stuff and Breaking Bad stuff and whatever. And it just got me thinking to like, oh my god, I would love to do this, but I don't think I would ever have the nerve to. It's one of those things that I didn't think I'd do, but really wanted to try. And then I don't know why I did it, but last year, it was during one of the heat waves that we had last summer, I got really fed up with my hair. And I was like, you know what, bollocks, I'm just going to shave it all off. So I did. And it's one of those things that I've been wanting to do for a long time and never quite had the nerve. And last summer, like I said, I just got really fed up and I was like, right, I was just gonna do it. So I did. And I don't know why, but from then on, I was just like, it was almost like that was the step I needed to get the courage to do the reaction channel. Because I don't know, it's really odd. Like, I don't think I feel more confident than I did when I had hair, but it's like, you have to have like an element of not giving a shit to shave your head because you don't know how people are going to react to it. No pun intended. And so I did it, and then I was just like, well, why don't I just do reactions? It's like, it's not like I need to sort my hair out or I'm going to worry about what my hair looks like in a video or whatever. And you know, my hair wasn't anything amazing before. You know, it wasn't like I spent hours doing my hair, but it just felt like one less thing to worry about. And it was just so freeing in so many ways, because it's like, you just don't have to fanny around with it in the morning before you go out or whatever. And it was just like, yeah, sod it. So that was actually kind of what pushed me to have the courage to do reaction videos. I am growing it out as well now, so I'm going to be going through some hilarious hair stages, I'm sure, in the coming months. Like mullets and God knows what else. Also waiting for them to react to that perfect iconic moment and it's just edited out, yes. I think I actually did. I was guilty of doing that myself on the John Wick video. I did, I think on the, for anybody that's seen that video, I edited out the bit when we're being told who John Wick is. So that was a bit of a cock-up, but... And that's another thing that's quite odd with editing or reacting in general as well, I suppose, is what you find interesting, or the thing that you really want to, you know, that you're waiting for somebody to react to may not be what they kind of find important. I mean, I say that there's, obviously there's a lot of shows where universally there's this one scene or there's this one thing that happens which everybody agrees is the best bit or whatever, but I think there are definitely some lesser scenes in shows that do vary quite a bit with popularity. I know what you mean. You're learning to articulate yourself more on camera. Such a cool experience to watch unfold. You're doing great. Thank you. It's definitely getting easier the more I do it. I'm still not quite amazingly comfortable. In fact, streaming tonight is helping tremendously because like the first 30 minutes of this stream I was like shaking. And this is live. I mean, obviously it's live because it's a live stream, but like it's very different to reacting when you can record it and you can go back and edit it if you need to, like if you sneeze in the wrong place or. Right, I think I'm going to take a quick break a second. I just want to go and grab a quick coffee. I'm probably going to stream, what are we now? 25 to 11. I'm probably going to stream for another hour and a half ish if people are sort of happy to hang out. But yeah, I just want to go stretch my legs and grab a coffee and stuff. So if you stick around, I will be back in about 5 minutes. So see you in a mo. And I'm back. Oh, I'm out of breath now. We're running up and down the stairs. Can be a catch-22. Catch-222. Oh, my brain. It can be a catch-22 if you start to talk, but then you end up talking over dialogue and people get upset. Yeah, that's one thing that I struggle with a lot because, and I suppose I should pause more, honestly, but I forget that I can pause. But I can't remember where I was going with that. This late. Where was I going with that? Yes. Because, but by the very nature of not having watched the show before and knowing what's coming up, I don't know if I'm about to talk over something important. So if something happens that I feel is important enough to say something, I don't want to talk over the next thing that happens just in case that's also important. So I think, oh, I'll wait a second just to see if there's anything else that's going to happen. And then, like, either something else will happen and then you forget the first thing you were going to say, or something doesn't happen. You think, well, it hasn't happened yet, but something else. And so you don't say anything. And that's kind of the situation I find myself in. And sometimes I just think I should just fucking talk and not worry about it and then just worry about it in edits. But yeah, I think that's something that probably comes with doing it for longer, is you just kind of get into a routine and you don't know because you just can't, but I think you just kind of resign yourself to the fact that you are going to talk over something at some point. And it's not the end of the world, but I think, I don't know. It's like you said, it's catch-22, isn't it? Mayo is Sunday morning there. Good God. Yeah, it's 11:15 on Saturday night for me. I don't know why Nathan Fillion wasn't cast as Nathan Drake in the Uncharted movie. Not that I've seen the movie, but I played the games and he is Nathan Drake. The facial expressions speak anyway. Oh, thank you. No, it's an odd choice, isn't it, Tom Holland? I am literally just running around in circles here. let me check one thing. I'm just punching the air. I could always fire up World of Warcraft. Although I haven't played that properly for ages either. When I say play, I'm not really playing anything, am I? I'm just kind of running around. But yeah, what's some of you guys' you guys' favourite reactors? I mean, apart from me, obviously. Hello. Thank you. Yeah, Arcane is so good. It's really, really good. I'm not going to play League of Legends, but I'm very tempted to look into the other games. Because they've got a... I say they've got... I don't know how far in development it is, but they've got a... Riot has got an MMO coming out, haven't they? Set in that universe. I think that's quite a few years down the line now. But yeah, I was... Because I finished recording Arcane now, so I have been on the League of Legends website looking at all the champions just to compare them. Who are some reactors you enjoy? Nikki and Steven are definitely one or two reactors technically. They're the first reactors I watched. It's because of them that I got into reactions, because I found their Red Wedding Game of Thrones reaction and then started watching all of their Game of Thrones reactions and then looked for other people's Game of Thrones reactions, and it kind of went on from there. But yeah, so Nikki and Steven, Bridgeco are also very good. They've just finished watching or finished reacting to Game of Thrones. They've got quite a horror vibe going on. Spartan and Pudgy are pretty cool. They're from Australia. They've also just finished Game of Thrones. Can you see a theme going on here? They've just finished Game of Thrones. They haven't. They finished Game of Thrones like last year, and they are just coming to the end of Breaking Bad now. But they do a lot of anime as well, I think. India Explores Movies. I've seen her come up a few times on my feed, but I don't think I've ever watched her. Brad Evans is also very good. He's a little bit different because he edits his videos quite a lot. But it's not a lot of stuff that makes me laugh out loud, but his reactions have me in stitches. I mean, not all of them, obviously, depending on the actual show, but his editing is brilliant. It's like, if I had the time to edit mine... Because, like, my editing's quite basic, I think, because it's literally, like, it's me, and then it's, like, a small screen for obviously, the footage. And I would like to kind of explore a different... not layouts, but like having full screen stuff and me over the... Do you know what I mean? Just kind of messing around with it a little bit, but I'm in such a kind of routine with the way I do things. I kind of don't want to mess with it and then end up taking longer to do edits and then get behind and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, if I had the time to mess around and learn it properly, then Brad Evans is how I'd want to edit videos. He's very good. Just Trust Hannah is amazing. Yes. I literally found her just as she was starting season 3, I think. And I went back and watched all of them. Yeah, she's hilarious. I actually went and watched her boyfriend's channel. Just Trust Ash? No. I can't remember what his channel is. I think it's something Ash. And I don't know why, but I ended up watching the Jackass movie reactions. Because I love those movies anyway. And I'd never thought of looking for reactions for the Jackass movies. And anyway, these popped up and I was just like, okay, I have to watch them. I have not laughed so much at reaction videos. Because they've got the first, second and third movie. And oh my god. Definitely not you don't want to watch them if you've got a weak stomach. Because there's lots of like heaving going on. It's so good. Really funny. Misfits was very good. I didn't watch the later seasons, but I watched the first 2, I think. Like when they first aired. Because Ramsay Bolton was in that. Obviously before he was Ramsay Bolton. I can't think what his name is. Ewan Rian. Yeah, him. I'm so shit with names. The Almighty Johnsons. Interesting. Gallifrey Girls is another reactor that I'm watching at the moment because they're reacting to a Red Dwarf, which if you've not watched that, my god, you need to. But again, I haven't seen anybody react to Red Dwarf, but then I've not looked for them, so when I saw that they were reacting to it, I was like, oh my god. But they do like, they're very sci-fi. So I'm imagining a lot of you have probably come across them before. They do a lot of Star Trek and yeah. Yes. Yeah, so I'm watching their Red Dwarf reactions every week at the moment. I'm trying to think who else I watch. LM reactions as well. If I know we've had a lot of people talk about anime in the chat tonight. They are very anime. I only found them because I was looking for Haunting of Hill House reactions, and they've covered that and Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. But they mainly do anime, I believe. But they're very, very, very good. They do make you feel like they're just a couple of friends watching shows and you just happen to be in the same room with them. They're just really funny. know, I'm just going to fire up World of Warcraft a second for a change of scenery. Let me just actually switch my thingy over. Oh god. There's so many, oh. It is quite annoying because there really are so many shows I want to watch. And I don't know how I'm going to get through them all. Like, for reactions, I mean, it's... You're very welcome. I'm actually gonna... I'm just logging into World of Warcraft a minute. We can go and look at Icecrown Citadel, which looks like the place in Lord of the Rings. Which is probably what it's based on, actually. Oh, The Wire. I've heard of that. What's it about? I mean, obviously without spoilers. I could Google, but I'm a bit wary of Googling stuff. Yes, Chris, we do. That would be helpful. Okay. Tell me if that's loud. It shouldn't be, but I think I got the volume right down on the game actually, but I just suddenly thought I don't want to be blasting your eardrums out. I have not really actually played much World of Warcraft since they introduced dragon riding to all of the zones. So I might have to find somewhere really high to jump off of. Let's have a look. Let me get rid of that a second because I don't need it. What am I looking for here? Weak auras, weak auras, weak auras. Cool. Hearthstone, Hearthstone, Hearthstone. Can't hear the game. Oh. I may have actually just figured out why you couldn't hear Valheim either, because I didn't actually... I didn't have the volume enabled on OBS. Right, okay, I'm going to try not to blast everybody's eardrums a second. I don't think that's actually very loud at all anyway. That's fine. Have we got any music? Have we got any music? Volume. I can't hear anything anyway. Don't know. Don't know. I don't remember what I was doing. What am I doing? Ah, I know where I'm going. This is my demon hunter, by the way. Oh god, I'm going too fast. This is weird. I don't like that. Crap. Yeah, we just want to fly nicely, please. Thank you. Ah, that's where we want to go. Yeah, The Expanse is an odd one. I've heard a lot of good things about it. But not like other shows, in some ways. I'm intrigued. Oh, really? But I have literally not been here. Ice Crown. Let me find a nice flight master a second so I don't have to pay attention to my game. Oops. Where are you? No, not you. You're a trainer. I swear to God they've moved stuff. There we are. Wind Rider. Dalaran. Do I? Yeah, that'll do. See, yeah, that's worrying. Like from a reacting point of view. But it's difficult, isn't it? Because you could almost say the same for Breaking Bad in some ways. That might be a controversial thing to say, but the first couple of seasons of Breaking Bad are pretty slow. Like, relatively speaking. Because there was a couple of points.
Hey guys, it is Silverbane. Nate ran into today when we were live. We had an issue where one of our pros, where I just basically was like, oh. And even though I was talking, and so what I found out is if you go into OBS Studio, well, if that's what you're using, hopefully for your live stream,